Howdy folks, Kel Kellogg here. Lucy's in the back. It's early in the morning and we are off on another adventure, and I'm not going to give you any clues what we're up to today. Just know that we are on the road and we are looking to get our fish on. I'll share more clues with you later. If you think you know what I'm up to today, go ahead and drop a comment and we'll see if you're right. Okay, you've seen the lake. Any guesses where I'm at? If you've got a guess or if you know where I'm at, go ahead, drop that comment down below. Let's see if you're correct. I got another 3 or 4 miles to go, and we are going to be out of the truck. We're going to get our gear rigged up, and hopefully we are going to get our trout on, because that's what we're chasing today. We are chasing trout in the high Sierras. Whole family of bears going up the bank here. Right there. Mama bear with 3 cubs. Oh, Lucy saw him. You get him, girl. You tell him who's boss dog here. All right. Woo! Yeah. Well, that was very cool. When I came around the curve, there was a mama bear and 3 cubs standing in the road. As soon as Mom saw the Chevy Tahoe coming her way, it was time to get out of the road. She scurried up the bank. The cubs fell into line and followed her. Once they got up on top of the bank, though, they weren't too scared. They kind of hung out up there for a second, and it was just a pleasure to see them. It's always a treat when you get to see a bear. A lot of folks ask me, "Aren't you afraid of bears in the high Sierra?" And honestly, no. You know, you gotta pay the bear all due respect, but I've seen dozens and dozens of bears in the Sierras over the years, and I have never had a problem with them, not even with a mother with cubs. I know people have. I know people have been attacked by black bears, but my philosophy is whenever you see a bear, it is a opportunity to be relished, because you don't see them every day. Sometimes you might not see one, up here for months, even if you're up here a lot. So whenever I see a bear, it's kind of a special occasion, and I do enjoy it. Those bears were kind of unusual. They were very, very dark. They almost looked like they were pure black. Much of the time when you see a bear up here in the high country, they're brown or maybe cinnamon colored, but those guys lived up to their name. They were black bears. Well, I don't have a pen, so I'm not going to be able to make that out, but I guess I'll just stick the money in there, put the envelope in the little box, and then put that little tag on my dashboard. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Well, if you haven't guessed yet, we're up at French Meadows Reservoir. We don't have a boat. We don't have a kayak. I've gotten a ton of requests for some bank fishing videos, and here we go. This is going to be the first bank fishing video of the fall. It's going to be fun. It's going to be educational for you guys that don't know the ropes of bank fishing, and I am hoping to take home a trout dinner. We shall see. Bank fishing 101. You want to fish areas that have immediate access to deep water. You want to fish areas that, represent a narrow area where it's going to concentrate fish activity. Beyond that point is the main channel of the tributary coming into the lake. So we're going to go out there. We're going to spend our time this morning fishing off that point. We are going to fish some bait. We are going to toss some lures. Let me get to hiking. It's the perfect time of the day. I want to get some lines in the water. So if you look at the shoreline behind me here, you see a lot of stumps. There's a lot of big boulders in this area. The water in front of me right here is very, very shallow. The water beyond that point back behind my head there is very deep. So immediate access to deep water, shallow water feeding areas, lots of structure. This is a classic place to try bank fishing for trout. This is the kind of place where predators come to feed, predators come to hunt. There are some very large brown trout in this lake. There are lots of rainbows in this lake. So let's get on out on this point and get some lines in the water. Okay, rig number one. I'm going to rig up with a night crawler. I've got some big Canadian crawlers here. I'm going to inflate them. Let me show you the rig I'm using. I've got an 8.5 foot Kevin Brock spinning rod right here, a K Brock rod. I've got an Okuma spinning reel. I've got braid on there, but I have a 10-pound test fluorocarbon top shot. I probably got 30, 40 feet of fluorocarbon on there. I come down on the business end, go through an egg sinker, a bead, a standard snap swivel, and I'm going to say about 22 to 24 inches of 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader material. And I have a number 10 bait holder hook attached to that via a Palomar knot. Now, I'm not going to gob the worm up on here. I'm going to pass that hook through the worm one time. Let me grab a worm. I'll show you how I put the worm on the hook. I'll show you how to inflate a worm. That worm is going to float up off the bottom. It's going to wriggle. It's going to wiggle. It's just a powerful fish attractor because it has smell, it has movement, it's real meat. It appeals to browns and rainbows. Great choice in the high Sierra. So let me grab a worm. Okay, I've got a nice fat worm here. I'm going to take and I'm going to break off the head section of the worm, the pointy section. This is the muscled section. The flat end, that's the tail end. That's a little flabby. It doesn't hold air that great. So I'm going to break it off. I'm going to use about 2/3 of the worm. Get rid of that tail section. Now, let me get this hook. I'm going to take my hook. And the reason I like to use a bait holder hook with the worms is the hook has barbs on the shank. So I'm going to go right below the ring on the worm. I'm going to insert that hook into the worm. I'm going to bring it around. And I want the hook point exposed just like that. And I'm going to shove that hook into the worm. That's it. That worm is very natural, very lightly hooked. Now, you're going to put a little air in the worm, like this. This is going to cause the worm to float. It's going to give him his buoyancy. Okay, that worm floats. Final ingredient, some of my trigger scent. Just going to put this on the worm, put it on the hook, put some on the leader. Let's put that on there. Rub that in. Just extra attractant, extra scent. Now I've got that rod leaned up in a holder. I pulled some slack and I've got a bobber hanging between the eyes of the rod. If you're fishing bait off the bank, that is a great way to go. That bobber is going to keep the line from blowing in the wind, but it's also going to allow that fish to take the bait with very little resistance. And I can look at the rod and know if I'm getting hit. If I see that bobber starting to move up, I'm going to try to get over there, grab the rod, take off the bobber, open the bail, give that fish a little additional line. And when I think he has it well back in his mouth, I'm going to close the bail, start reeling. When I feel the fish, give it a little light hook set. Fish on, should be a fish in the frying pan. We shall see. Now, early in the morning, it also makes sense to do some casting with a lure. So I have another spinning rod set up for casting. I'm going to put on either a pinhead or a Trigger Spoon Junior. I'm going to do some fan casting. If that doesn't work, I have another rod rigged up for power bait fishing. Essentially rigged the same way as my worm rod, but it has an octopus hook rather than that bait holder. So let me grab a spoon. Let's do some fan casting and see if we can pick up a trout that's cruising around this structure looking to feed. Final point. I did not cast that out a country mile. I casted it out probably about 40 feet. I was shooting to have that worm resting in 10 to 15 feet of water. That was my goal. As the sun gets higher in the sky, I may cast out further, but I think the trout are apt to be cruising around this structure. This is kind of a natural narrows. They're apt to be cruising around this structure. So I want my bait adjacent to the drop off the tip of this point. Now, a lot of times I say you want to stay on the move when you're bait fishing. Give each spot 30, 40 minutes. But I know this lake very well. I've done well on that shoreline over there, but I really like this spot. I like the combination of deep water, shallow water, the river channel, a narrow area. So we're going to stick it out here for quite a while. We may fish here all morning. Let me get that lure on and start making some casts. Here's my casting rig. Got another Okuma spinning reel. This has got an 8-pound test top shot over bright yellow braid. This is only a 6-foot long rod. It's got a fairly, kind of a medium fast action, not a super fast action. I want some cushioning. Trout do have soft mouths, and I'm using lures with treble hooks most of the time. So a little cushioning in that tip helps. I am rigged up with a Trigger Spoon Junior Captain America color. I got a little trigger scent in there. I am just going to start fan casting around this structure and see if we can pick up a trout that's in here that's willing to chase. Okay, I absolutely got hit on that worm. It was a light bite, but it was a bite nevertheless. I'm going to rig up my second bait rod with some rainbow garlic power bait, put some power powder on there. A rig here, I've got a little Daiwa inexpensive rod, a little inexpensive spinning reel, spooled up with 20-pound chartreuse braid. Bring that down to an egg sinker, a couple beads, a snap swivel, and I'm going to say about probably a 30-inch 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader. And I got that leader tipped with a pretty small little octopus hook right there. So I'm going to put about a quarter, maybe 3/8 of an inch ball of power bait on there. I'm going to mix some power powder in. I'm going to get that out there. I'm going to hang a cork off the line just like I have that worm rigged up. I'm probably going to check that worm in a couple minutes because it's been messed with. Who knows? It might be messed up. Maybe it was kind of tangled on the bottom and the fish couldn't move away with it freely. Who knows? But you always got to check after you get a bite. So that trout mouthed that worm pretty good. Didn't take it, but ruptured it. The air leaked out and the worm had sunk back to the bottom. So you always want to check. It always pays to make sure you have a fresh bait on your line. Okay, the worm is getting hit. The worm is getting hit. So I'm going to go ahead and take that bobber off there. Now what I'm doing now is I'm watching the line. Just watching that braid, watching what it's doing, where it's going. There it goes. It's taking off a little bit. I'm going to open the bail. That's a big worm. Got a big night crawler on there, so there he goes. There he goes. He's taking it. But I want to make sure he gets that worm down. See if he's there. Yep, he's there. Fish on. Fish on. He was tangled in the rocks a little bit. Oh, there he goes. Oh, nice. All right. Awesomeness. Not huge, but we got him. Well, that's not a bad fish at all. Rainbow. Oh, there he goes. I don't have a net or anything, so I'm just gonna bring this guy in. Just like this. Beautiful. Beautiful square tail rainbow. Well, that's a nice fish. What a beauty. Now, let me show you a little trick here. See my hook way down his throat down there? Here's how you get a hook like that out. Pull the line tight and wrap it around your thumb so you can see down his throat. You take your pliers. Rather than going down like this, you don't want to go in this way. I could do it on this fish, but for demonstration purposes, come in through the gill like this. Grab the shank on the hook and just flip that hook over. You see? Right out of the mouth. Just like that. No damage to the leader. You don't have to retie. You're good to go. Didn't even get that bobber on the line, and that fish was hitting that worm. There he goes. I'm gonna let him run. That was a big night crawler, but obviously they want worms. Quick as I can, I'm gonna get a worm on my other rod. Since we're keeping fish, there's no penalty to let him run. Let him go with it. Patience is super important when you're fishing bait like this. Now, I may have that fish, but if I do have him, I'm certainly not going to lose him by waiting, but I'm going to give him every opportunity to get that bait down. There we go. There we go. Now we got him. Well, it feels tangled. Oh, there we go. There's a lot of big rocks down there. Well, that feels like a good fish. Oh, he's coming up. It is a good fish. You kind of get over here. Oh, yeah. It's like another rainbow. Ooh. He's a scrapper. Oh, that's a nicer fish. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a beauty. Woo, he's heavy. That's a chunk. All right, we'll wear him down a little bit. Now, you want to leave yourself enough line in this situation because I want to slide him up right up here. So once he wears out, he's getting there. Probably be easier to land him right over there, but I'm over here, so we're going to do it over here. Here we go. Just like that. Oh, big fish. Man. Wow. It's a beautiful fish. That's just phenomenal. Get him on the stringer. Get another worm out there. Talk a little bit about this one. Something wasn't right about that rod. And this fish had probably heard that splash down, saw the worm coming down, and grabbed it. And he was on there. He was on there instantly. I think he was on there before it even got on the bottom. But worked out. Nice holdover. He's going to eat great. Beautiful fish. Put up a great fight. Let's get him on the stringer and get another one. Happened again. I cast it out. I couldn't even get the rod in the holder. Power bait, not getting touched, but I barely got it out. Look at that fish go. He's running with it good. He's got it. That was a smaller worm. I'm going to pull a little slack, close the reel. When it comes tight, we got him. We got him right now. Oh, yeah. He was coming back towards us. Wow. What a bite. That's just incredible. I can't believe how fast that action is. I was going to put a worm on the other rod, but it may not be necessary. a little smaller one, but he'll eat fine. He will eat just fine. Yeah. Unbelievable action on the worm. They want the worm today. Another beautiful rainbow. Slide him up here. 4. Like that. Another handsome fish. Another X-planter. That's a holdover. This dime bright, nice heeled square tail. Probably 14, 15 inches long. Can't complain about that. Take that all day long. 3 on the stringer, 2 to go, and we're done. Wow. Oh boy, we got one going fast here. It's a whole night crawler. It's a whole crawler, and I didn't cast it out very far at all. Just a short distance. Look at him go. Let him have it. So that was a big worm. It's like a full-size crawler. I would think he's got it now, though. Oh, yeah. There we go. He's in the rocks. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm catching up to him. Slow but sure. Oh, nice rainbow. Is that rainbow or brown? Can't quite tell yet. Nice fish, whatever it is. Whew. Chunkarooski. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Wow. Are you feisty now? Oh, there's another rainbow right behind him. Wow. That was something else. There's another fish right behind him. Wow. He's representing now. There's another fish right behind him. Right there. Wow. As soon as I get this guy in, I'm going to reel that other rod in closer. That's a nice fish. Let's see. Yeah. You got to be getting more out. That other fish is right behind him. Wow. Wow, that's a nice fish. Jeez. Look at that guy. That's another holdover. You can see his tail's a little messed up on top, but it's completely grown back. What a chunky fish. It's a beautiful rainbow, 1.5 pounds probably. That fish is gonna eat great. He looks great, and what a fight. That's awesome. Had one going on the other rod. Oh yeah. Oh my. Oh, that's a big worm, so I hope he didn't feel resistance and spit it. No, he didn't. There he is. There he goes. Oh, he's got it good. This might be the last one, guys. This might be limits. Oh, yeah. I got the fish. I got some rocks. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, did he come on? No. Here he comes. Here he comes. He's heavy, too. Feels like another good one. I can't see. Oh, yeah, I see him way out there. He's dying bright, boy. He is bright and full of fight. Ha ha! There we go. I think he's as big as that last one, but he's big enough. That's another handsome trout right there. Just gotta float this one up here again, just like the others. Oh my gosh. Wow. Check that out. Number 5. Woo! What a way to end the day. Another nice holdover. Man, that's incredible. It is 10 o'clock. Limit a gorgeous rainbows like this by 10 o'clock? That's pretty dang good. And you know what? It's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better up here in the high Sierras until the snow flies and we can't get into these lakes anymore. But you're pretty wide open this morning, boy. Look at that, guys. Beautiful fish. This one here's hold over about 18 inches long. 10 o'clock in the morning. Limits of quality high mountain rainbows. How did this happen? How did this come together? I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, location, location, location. It's just like real estate. After you get some experience, you can look at a lake, you see the shallow water adjacent to the deep water, a main lake point, a tributary coming in, a deep channel over there. This is the kind of place you look for predators. I saw fish cruising all morning. I saw fish feeding off the surface right here, 20 feet off the bank. So I knew I was in the right place. Beyond that, you need to be tactically sound. These are experienced fish. These fish have been in the lake all summer. They've seen a lot of stuff. So you've got to be tactically sound. I'm going to put these back in the water. We'll talk about tactics. So what do I mean by tactically sound? You need to have gear that you're 100% confident in. You need to be using that fluorocarbon leader material. You need to be using quality hooks, tying quality knots. You need to set yourself up for success. And I didn't know this morning, I'm fishing night crawlers. I could have hooked a 10-pound brown here. So I'm very confident in any of the rods I was using today, I could have landed that fish. Then we get into the offerings. I tried a bunch of different things today in hopes of building a pattern. And I also employed a fair amount of patience. Here's how it went. First thing early, I cast it out on a night crawler. I got one half-hearted bite on it, really nothing else. I threw a couple different kinds of spoons. Then I threw a trigger booger teamed with a water bobber, a clear bobber. And I tried that a couple different times throughout the morning. Never got a hit on a lure. Never got a hit on the fly. I put out power bait on my second rod. I know that this lake is full of rainbows. I see fish rising right here. I know this lake is full of rainbows. I thought, well, power bait, Never got a touch on the power bait. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there, I'm soaking one rod with power bait, one rod with the crawler, and I get a very tentative bite. I didn't run over there and set the hook. I went over there, I removed the bobber from the line, and I played that bite out. That fish was very tentative, but I got him to swallow the crawler. Game on, first fish on the stringer. Then I got those two crazy back-to-back fish where as soon as I casted it out, they were on it. So got those on the stringer, had 3 fish, 2 to go. So at that point, I got another worm back out there, and then I got a worm on my second rod. Really nothing happened for a little while. And what that's telling me is the bite was kind of coming on and coming off. We see this on the guide boat. We talk about this on the guide boat. You'll go out, you'll catch a few fish, the bite stops. That is not the time to play, musical chairs with your lures or your location. I knew what they'd bite. Inflated night crawlers with trigger scent on them. I knew where the fish were. They were right here. Maybe there's fish in another part of the lake. Don't care. Got fish right here. All I needed to do was wait. From the time that I had 3 on the stringer until I got those last 2 was about 45 minutes. And I essentially got those last 2. It was almost a double. I landed one on the small rod, the one with the chartreuse braid. That was actually the biggest fish of the day. So I landed that fish, and that one was only casted out about 25 feet. About the time I got that fish in, the other rod started going off, opened the bail, that fish took off, end of story. When I brought in the fourth fish, the one on the small rod, there was actually another nice trout that came in with that fish, just following that fish. So I think they're moving around. I think they're in small pods. I think the water temperature is still such that they're kind of still on the cruise here. They weren't super aggressive, but you know, the attractiveness of that inflated night crawler teamed with that trigger scent absolutely closed the deal. I tried some worms without trigger scent. I never got a touch on them. So it could have been the smell. It could have been the UV. It could have been a combination of that anise, fish oil, and the smell of the night crawler. I don't know. I know it was working. So, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't change it. The other point to be made when you're bank fishing for trout, you need to be observant. When I started seeing fish hitting, you know, on the surface right here, I could see some submerged boulders right there. When I started seeing fish on the surface just beyond those boulders, guess what? I reeled that small rod in, made sure the worm was still in the condition to float. It was looking good, whole night crawler. I flipped it out right past that submerged boulder that I could see there. It wasn't 5 minutes, and I got that fish. The other rod, I casted that one out short too that time because I was seeing all this activity. Don't cast beyond the fish. Some days, sometimes when you're bank fishing for trout, yeah, you got to haul off and you got to throw it. You got to get your bait out there in 30, 40 feet of water. But there's other times, like today, when I think the majority of the active fish are cruising right out here, right beyond where I can see the rocks. I saw, like I say, several on the surface right there. And I caught, I think 3 of the 5 trout were just beyond those boulders. That's it for now. California is such an awesome state. Up here in the high Sierras, mid-morning, got a limit of gorgeous trout. And guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm going to be out on the California Delta looking for stripers. It's a great state, guys. It's a great state for anglers. So diverse. And there are 10 other things we could do tomorrow. We could go, you know, salmon fishing somewhere. We could go rock cod fishing. We could go bass fishing. We could go to Berryessa and pound on those giant cats like Nate and I did a few weeks ago. California, it is an angler's paradise, and we bring you the very best of it here on the Catch America YouTube channel. If you're looking for gear, you know where to go. CatchAmerica.com. I'm out of here for now. Lucy's out of here for now. We will catch you next time right here on Catch America. I'm Captain Kel Kellogg.